Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Are you planning a trip to the Schengen area? Be it you're in Nigeria, you're in Ghana, you're in the UK, then this video is for you. Today I'm going to be talking about the most common reason why people get denied, which is the proof of funds. What exactly does it mean? How much do you need? What are the financial mistakes that you should avoid? Stay with me to the end of this video and I'll show you exactly how to prepare your bank statement so you avoid these common mistakes which can lead to a refusal. So let's start with the basics. What does proof of fund mean? Proof of fund is just basically evidence that you can afford that trip, starting from that you have enough money to buy your ticket, to pay for your accommodation, your feeding, the tours, and everything that you're going to be doing while you're there. I'm saying tours because I basically focus on a tourism visa. That's why I'm saying that. So, yes, proof of fund just shows that you can and you have evidence that you can afford this trip. So, what are the financial documents that you need to be able to show as evidence that you can afford this trip? Number one, you would need your bank statement. Usually, it's between 3 to 6 months, depending on the country you're applying to. Some Schengen area ask for 3 months, some ask for 6 months. The second one is employment slip from your place of work, what they typically give you every month when you get paid. Number three is business documents. So if you're self-employed, you're an entrepreneur, you would want to show proof of funds by showing your business document, which is your CSC registration document, your tax records, and then your corporate bank statements to show that you have a business that is running and that you're making profits from it. If you have somebody that is sponsoring your trip, then number four is for you, which is the letter of sponsorship, which is going to be from your sponsor saying, oh, I'm going to be taking care of this trip financially, I'm going to be responsible, I'm going to be paying for all of that trip. Number five is proof of assets. I'm talking investment documents, I'm talking car ownership, I'm talking properties. Some people put lease agreement, all of that. So yes, you need to include that. And important, you must note that your bank statement, some people would say, oh, they're just picking up, they are printing out their bank statement. Your bank statement must be official, meaning that, it should be issued by the bank. It's not something you just print out on your own. And these days, I think they've made it easier. If you want to do the one from your app, make sure you get the one that is signed. I usually like my bank to write a letter of reference for me as well, in addition to my bank statement. So if you can do that, yes, it will do you a whole lot of good. Now we know the documents that we need. Let's talk about account closing balance and turnover. Now, these are two things that visa officers look at closely: your closing balance and your turnover. What do I mean by turnover? Now, ask yourself, how active is your account? Is it an account that just stays dormant and then when it's close to your interview or your appointment, you deposit lump sum in it, or you run your account consistently? The embassies prefer accounts that you run consistently. They can see that you have activities in your account all through the 6 months period. It's not like for a month or two everything is quiet, maybe one or two transactions, and then towards the time you're applying for the visa, then you have a lot of deposit there. That's a red flag, so don't do that. Make sure that you run your bank account consistently. And then the closing balance. The closing balance is what you have in your bank account as that when you're printing out that bank statement. It should be reasonable. It doesn't have to be too high, but at least it should reasonably match the amount that you're looking to spend on your trip. I usually advise that you have like 1.5 or times two of what you're looking to spend on your trip. So let's say, for instance, I'm looking to go to Spain, and what I'm going to be spending on my trip is like a 500,000 naira. Then I will advise you that your closing balance should be like 1 million, 1.2, 1.5, not lower than 1 million if you ask me. So I always like times two, like double of what you have in your account or one and a half of it. The next thing I'm going to be talking about today is the do's. Now, I said I was going to talk about everything. So, yes, the do's, make sure that you run your bank account consistently. It is very important, guys. Run your bank account consistently, at least for the 3 to 6 months that you're going to be presenting to the embassy. Make sure that you have money in your bank account 3 to 6 months before you apply for that visa. Not that it's a month before you're applying for the visa that you deposit money in it. Use your personal bank account, not someone's own. And if you're going to be using someone's bank account, make sure that you get a letter saying that I am a sponsor, so a sponsorship letter from your sponsor. But I always prefer, especially when you're going for tourism and you're not underage, you're not a minor, I always prefer for you to have your own bank account. Even if you're like your early 20s, you have your parents that will be sponsoring the trip, still have your own personal bank account, so it shows that you have something going for you at least. And lastly, for the do's, attach a short letter to explain your finances if you need to. So maybe it's a salary account. Usually you'd have like a 200,000 coming in as your salary at the end of the month. And then some months you have some 200, 300, 400 coming in every now and then. If you have a side also and the money is going there, be sure to be able to explain the source of the money. So it's not for them, it's not about just having money in your bank account. They like to understand the source. So it's not doesn't look like you're packaging. Yes, you're packaging, you're putting yourself together to portray yourself as what you are not. So if you need to do any explanation, by all means, I always do that. That's why you always have space and then you can always write and explain your finances. So please make sure you do that if you have an account that looks like that or kind of sounds like that. Now I'm going to be talking about the don'ts. Don't don't use fake documents. I beg you guys. No matter how desperate you are, never ever falsify any documentation you're taking to the embassy, especially your financial documentation. Number two, I would say don't leave the account dormant for a long time and then you start depositing money when it's close to your application. And then lastly, I would say don't borrow or transfer lump sum of money into your account, maybe like close to your interview or your appointment, maybe like a week, 2, 3 weeks before, and then you now start depositing lump sum that ordinarily you don't even have the history of depositing. Don't do that. It's a red flag and it might lead to a denial. Now I'm going to be giving you a tip, which is what you can do to make it look like it's the real thing. Of course, it's the real thing that we're expecting you to bring. Now, most embassies, they like to be able to pinpoint or to be able to tell your source of income, maybe salary, business proceeds, all of that revenue, savings. They need to be able to tell that this is a business revenue, this income is from savings, this is from salary, not just unexplainable money coming into your bank account. Two, I would say that make sure that your bank account matches the applicant's name. If you're someone like me, that on my passport, I have Fumi, and then some of my bank has Fumilayo. Make sure you have a court affidavit saying that you are one and the same person, and Fumi and Fumilayo, they are the same. I have that court affidavit because on my on my documentations, I have some that carry Fumilayo, I have some that carry Fumi. It's one and the same person. But then I can't say that because I'm bearing Fumi now. When I was in the university, I was using a full name, which was Fumilayo. It means that my certificate is not valid anymore. So what I do have is an affidavit, and it has been notarized saying that Fumilayo Fatuberu and Fumi Fatuberu, they're one and the same person. So if by any means, maybe your bank account doesn't match what you have on your passport, say maybe you're married, you've not changed from your maiden name, maybe your passport is in your maiden name, the account is still in your married name, then make sure that you have an affidavit, and then make sure you include it in your cover letter stating that I'm the same person. This is the reason why there's a slight difference in the name. If you are one that you're in the UK, or maybe you're even in Nigeria, and then your income comes in naira and maybe pounds or dollars, make sure you include all of the bank statements, and then you write it in your cover letter too. You explain, maybe I have a passive income, maybe you're earning from YouTube and then you're earning in dollars, it shows. Make sure you explain all of that so that it doesn't look like they don't understand this source of income. Money is just being deposited in your account. And then if you are a student, make sure that your sponsor's financial documents must be strong. Make sure you include their ID, make sure you include their employment letter, and a clear statement of relationship. How do you even know this person? And if you're applying for a tourist visa and you also have a sponsor, like I said, make sure you have your own personal bank statements apart from your sponsor's own, and your sponsor should include all of those documents, and then they should say why they're sponsoring that trip, what part of the trip that they're responsible for. Is it just going to be your accommodation? Is it going to be your flight? Is it going to be transportation when you get there? Is it going to be the whole trip? Is it part of it? Make sure you break it all down in their letter of relationship. They can put in there in their statement of relationship, and then in your cover letter you can include it as well. So yes, that is it. These are the points that I have for you, and this is how you present a proof of fund that increases your chances of getting visa approval. Remember that the embassies are not looking for millionaires. They just want people that can afford the trip. So you don't have to leave your closing balance of millions and millions and millions before you can get an approval. As long as they see that you have a consistent income, they can see the source of your income. They see that, and from what you have coming in, the consistency, it shows that you can actually afford this trip. Then it makes it easier for you. So if you found this video helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, share with a friend that is applying soon, or maybe that has plans of applying, or you want to give a little nudge to apply. If you have not subscribed to this channel, by all means, please subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on my weekly updates about travels and visa. My name is Fumilayo Fatobero. See you in my next video, and good luck with your application. Bye-bye.